So yeah, hello everyone. Yeah, well, welcome back to Football Signal HQ. And today I have one of my very good friend with me, Aderopo, a guy I've known for over 2-3 decades now. All the way from Toronto, Canada. So Rocco, you're welcome to today's show. And yeah,
Thank you,
so
everybody.
yeah. So basically, today we are going to be talking about the European season that is starting. I know some leagues have already started, like the Spanish league. We've already seen a
Yeah,
couple of games so far in the league. I think
mm-hmm.
Atletico Madrid played yesterday. They won their game. So
Yeah,
the Spanish league started already. The English league is yet to start, so it's going to start tomorrow. The German Bundesliga, I think that starts a week after that on the 28th, I think, and
yes.
the French league should start this weekend as well.
This weekend, yes.
Um, so yeah, the what we just want to talk about today is basically just X-raying the European leagues. What we think is going to happen in each of the leagues. Who we
Mm-hmm.
think who might win the teams that might get relegated, who might get the golden boot for each of these leagues, and maybe there's anything we think might be the surprise package, or any thoughts we might have, on each of these leagues. So we are going to start from we are going to take it from the down to the top. So we start from the French league. From the French league, we move to the German Bundesliga, then the Serie A, then the La Liga, and we end with the APL. I mean, the APL is the most popular league, and that's the
Mm-hmm.
one that people might have the most interest in. So that's
Yeah.
what today's show is going to be about, pretty much. So yeah, yeah. So Rocco, is there anything you want to say before we get before we get started and start dissecting this whole thing?
Well, before we start, I'd like to say hello, everybody. Popularly known as El Ropo or SJB. And it's good to be on the show. I've been a fan of the show. I've been following the show quite
Yeah,
closely, watching all the episodes. And I must say
yeah,
that you've been doing fantastic work, great
yeah.
analysis,
Thank you.
very timely news, and is a pleasure to be on the show. So,
Yeah,
like you said, we're going to be talking about some of, if not all of the top five leagues in Europe. Who we think would be the people to see this season. Is
yeah,
there going to be a repeat? Is there going to be a three-peat for
yeah.
some some clubs? What do we think is going to be the surprise package? Who, apart
Definitely.
from the obvious people, is going to be the
Yeah,
goal scorers, transfers coming in, coming out? Just basically an overview of the season to come and the season that's already started. So
yeah. Yeah, sure. So let's get right into it. So like I said, we're gonna be starting with the French league. We
mm,
saw the opener, like their own version of the Community Shield or the French
yeah.
Super Cup that happened between PSG and Lens a couple of days ago, 2 or 3 days ago. And I think the result for me was quite shocking. I didn't expect Lens to actually defeat PSG
Well,
in that game. So they
well,
defeated
if
PSG
you
1-0. So what do you even think about that before
if
we
you
even talk
if
about
you if you follow the French league, especially
Mhm.
last season, you
Yeah.
know that that's not a shock result
Well,
because Lens actually beat PSG last season,
did it.
and it's been one of the is a very it was a very difficult match. What the only surprise was that Lens got red carded in the first half and still managed to hold on
And they
and
still held on.
and won 1-0. That
They held
was the
on.
surprise.
Yeah,
But as per
they
the
held on.
history, especially in the coming season, and then the fact that Lens really pushed PSG for a long way in the season and then they fell off at some point, you
Yeah,
can tell that there's a growing rivalry there. And then
yeah,
the quality of players that they have, you can see the togetherness in that team. So
yeah,
you can already understand that. Before the game started, it was already heated. And
yeah.
then that's basically part of what gave birth to the red card. And after the red card, you can see that it was a match that they didn't want to lose. It
Exactly.
was all hands on deck with fantastic defensive display, great togetherness by the team, and then they ran away with it. When we now say let's come to the league and talk about who we think is going to be number one, two, three, basically assorted is PSG Lens League. You can already tell because PSG, shake, daddy shake. The money is there, and then apart from just the money, I think right now PSG have now grown themselves into a European superpower. They've won the
Definitely.
Champions League back to back. They've
Definitely.
now left the tag of the money team. They've left it
Yeah,
behind. Now they're proper European team who got a
yeah,
good coach. In fact, a great coach who
Luis
shaping the
Enrique.
team to what he wanted to, what he wanted his team to look like. They got rid of Mbappe. It's unfair to say that, but they got rid of Mbappe, and then they started winning the
Yeah.
Champions League. So
I mean,
at
I
the
won't
end
call
of the
it
day,
to get rich,
you say it's a
but
good move.
yeah, yeah.
It's a good move because they tried everything. They brought in Neymar, they brought in Messi,
Let's see.
they brought in so many different superstars, but they
Yeah.
just never crossed that finish line of the
Mm,
Champions League. And the
mm.
moment that a lot of things snapped into place, they signed Kivicha, they had some
Yeah, Barcelona.
upstars going. Their midfield trio is it gives me a headache thinking about it because I'm not playing against them and I'm already tired from watching them. You can see Vitinha, João Neves, those three between
Yeah.
that midfield, they are tireless. They rarely lose the
Yeah,
ball.
Lozano.
I call them the three imps because and that's not a shade on them, but you can see how hard they work. And I think that epitomizes a Luis Enrique team. You can always see that his teams will work hard,
Yeah.
with or without the ball. You can see
Yeah.
the way them presses, Bakola, if it's Kivicha, if it's Due, each and every one of them will give their all for the team. And that's why I think I can't see anybody putting anything past them this season. Maybe
Yeah.
if Lions have a great season, then maybe. But for now, I think my top three is PSG, Lens, and then anybody can be third and fourth. But I think I'm going to say, okay, let's do Lille third and Lyon fourth. And then the regular, is a toss up between Monaco and Marseille for fifth and sixth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Start
The
run.
yeah, the run,
Then you can
the
have
object.
Strasbourg,
Yeah.
Toulouse,
Yeah.
Nice, and then you can now start talking about the everybody's sweetheart 2 seasons ago, which is Brest,
Yeah.
that got Michael Richards and the whole CBS squad. He got them also excited. So, like I said, in the French league, is going to be the usual. It's the regular customers. It's PSG that we expect to run away with the league again, and you can have few surprise packages. I think my own surprise package is going to be Paris FC. I think they are going to finish either 10th or 11th. I don't know why,
But I,
but
but I,
that's going to be
I wouldn't really call that if you are finishing below the mid table. I wouldn't really call that like a
so
surprise package.
for
Where did they finish last season? Probably in the middle of the table as well, somewhere
yes,
around that, and that was when they got promoted to
promoted
the league.
back.
Yeah, so that
Yes,
was when they got promoted. They did quite okay. Um,
yes,
Considering the proximity of their stadium to PSG
to
stadium,
PSG
so we
Stadium, the
felt
Parc
like
des
there was going
Princes.
to be that strong rivalry between it's going to be like a local Paris derby when Paris FC get to play PSG. I think we got some of that right, and they also have
Mhm.
a Nigerian veteran, Moses Simon,
Simon,
leading the line for them. So it's one of their biggest marksman, their greatest creator for Paris FC. So
yeah.
I mean, I don't think
Now
they will do anything much
the
this
reason
season, in
why
my
I said
opinion.
it would be a surprise 10th or 11th is because many people have them relegating.
Mm,
A lot of people have them relegating partly because they sold one or two of their key players, and then you can when you sell like one or two of your key players, you expect the team to suffer a bit.
yeah,
Now, on the Paris FC end, I think that they have enough structure and they have enough balance to keep the team together. Like you said, they have Moses Simon, who's fantastic on the left wing. His take ons, his one on ones, his dribbles, everything. He looks like the complete package. Maybe the output after the dribbles could be a little better, but for me, he's done great, and I think he will be a stable source of goals and
for
assists for them.
creativity for them.
Yes, on the wing. That's why I think that they would, be for me the surprise package.
Yeah, I mean,
The
I just
teams,
checked where they finished last
mhm,
season, and they finished 11th. I think
yeah,
if they're still going to finish 11th, then they've not done anything better than what they did last season. But I think one thing that I definitely agree with you on about the French league this season is that the French league still remains PSG's
yeah,
league to lose. I don't think. I mean, if
Yes,
you would be very
I agree
very
with you.
crazy, if you, except you have a crystal ball and you saw something different from that crystal ball. It would be hard for anyone else to predict that PSG is not going to win the Ligue 1 this season. I remember
Mm.
when the Ligue 1 was like Lyon's league to win. Like Lyon, when Gerard
Yeah,
Houllier left Liverpool, he left Liverpool, became the coach of Olympic Lyon.
Leon,
Back in
yes,
the days, and they won like three consecutive Ligue 1s back to
back to
back. But
back, yes.
those days are back, and they are long gone now. The league now belongs to PSG, so it will be difficult
Yes,
to see anyone else winning the French league that is not PSG. I can't even remember the last time another team won. Well,
I think the
maybe
last time
Rennes
was
or so,
Monaco.
or Lille,
Monaco.
or perhaps Monaco. I can't remember the last time a
Mm.
team not PSG won the league on. So just like you
Yeah,
mentioned, I think the league this season is still theirs to lose. Even
yes.
some might even argue that the Champions League might even also be PSG's title to lose. So this season, I still think. The league on this season is PSG to lose. If you look at the fact that because you also talked about the fact that we've seen different eras of PSG. Of PSG have been building this their current team,
For
from
years.
for years, so 12 years now. I mean, we had
Mhm.
there was a time when it was the Javier Pastore
Yeah,
and this guy and
Cavani,
Draxler, that was
Draxler,
the other
yes.
era. We had the Ibrahimovic, the Ezequiel Avesi, the Cavani.
Di
We
Maria
had
after
that
a
era,
while.
yeah. The Maria, we had that era as well. Then we had them, the Neymar, Mbappe, the Messi's. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, there was that era as well. But now we're not in this era of PSG that is dominating and winning the UCL. The Quara Skylar's era, the Desiree Due, the Badri Bakola. So that's literally the era that we are at this moment, and they are
Mm.
dominating. So it's very crazy to think anyone else might win the league. So and I'm also looking at the fact that this other team that gave PSG a run for their money last season, the Lons and the Lille, they are going to be
Mhm.
playing Champions League football this season,
Yes.
especially Lons. So we don't know how that is going to affect their
How
game.
they
Do they have the
react,
depth
yes.
to actually play on to compete on two or three fronts? Because they might also be competing in the French Cup as well. So there's going to be the
Yeah.
French Cup. They'll be competing in the league. They'll be competing in the UCL. Do they have the squad depth to be able to compete across all these fronts? We saw Lille try to do that last season, but they fell apart at the end of the day. So
Yeah.
for Lens especially, they're going to be playing UCL football. Would they be able to keep their squad together, keep it together,
They
and try
have
to give
the
PSG a fight for their money, both in the league and still try to make some impact in the Champions League? So that would be something to actually see. I can't even remember the last time even Lens themselves played in the Champions League. Last time I
yeah.
can remember was years ago, man,
Been a
when
while. It's been
Utaka
a
was even
long
still
time.
playing for them, when they had them, the Utakas, the CBS keys, and all that. It's been a while,
That's
but
it's
it'll
been a
be
minute. It's
interesting
been
to
a minute.
see what they would do. For me, maybe if I would pick a team that might surprise us
Mm.
this season, maybe Monaco. Maybe Monaco. I think they've let Paul Pogba go, so they're also doing some restructuring. Maybe they'll be able to find their feet, and they don't have European football to play. I don't think that maybe Conference League, but I'm not sure if they're going to play any European
At,
football. But if they are,
at the
perhaps maybe the
moment,
Conference
yes,
League.
I
So
think
we'll
they're in
see
the
if they can
conference
get
league.
some one or
Yes.
two players, and they can try to give the Lens, the Leos, and the PSG
A
some
run for their
competition
money.
in the league. And I don't think we should rule out Olympic Marseille as well. I think they might also have something interesting for us this season. They have this Nigerian guy there that I sort of like Tochukwu Nadi. They brought him on last season, but
Nice.
he hasn't really find his footing in the team. I think it was they tried to use him on the right back, but we know
Mm.
Nadi is the midfielder, a tough tackling and a very aggressive midfielder, but he hasn't really been able to stamp his authority in the midfield. But I hope he can get better playing time this season with Marcel. I think Marcel is also not the team we should roll out. I know Mr. Greenwood has left. He left for Fenerbahce, but
Yes.
Marcel might still be able to do something this season. But I think I would agree with you in the ordering as well. I think PSG wins the league. It will be difficult for them to not win. PSG wins.
Mm-hmm.
Second and third, sure, that might be tough. I might see maybe Lens if they don't do well in
I,
European football, maybe Lens. But Lyon and Marcel, it will be hard for me to not try to fight to squeeze in
I,
one of
like I
them
said,
in my top
it's
three. But
gonna be PSG, Lens, and then it's a
yeah,
toss up between
then
Leon,
there's a toss of the
Lille,
coin
Marcel,
to
and then the
to
rest.
find anyone else to occupy the remaining positions. But
Yeah.
yeah, for the highest goal, so who do you think might be the highest goal scorer? I think we don't really have any. Top
Yes, there are
striker.
no standout names.
Yeah, any standout names that we can call on. And interestingly, if you look at the French league in the past, let's say 5 seasons, it's been Kylian Mbappe before he joined Real Madrid. So
Yeah,
it's
for
been
joining Real Madrid.
Mbappe for before he joined. I think there was a season Missy Greenwood and Ousmane Dembele tied on 21 goals. And that should be last 2 seasons ago. Last season, I'm not sure who won the French League goal scorer. Oh, apparently someone from Esteban Lepore. Esteban Lepore from Rennes
I
won
was about
the
to say that
yeah
it
from
wasn't,
Rennes. Yeah.
it's not even from any of the top teams.
Yeah, so I think something
Um,
like that might also happen. Is Falari Balogun still in the league? Most likely, he's still in Monaco. I think last time I
Monaco,
checked,
yes,
if he
yes.
has not left.
He has not had any movement yet now.
Yeah, Jonathan David at Lille, I
I
think.
think Jonathan David has left, if
Yeah,
I remember.
Jonathan David. Okay, well, now we have Ferran Torres in PSG. If
Okay.
he's going to be a starting striker, so the Ferran Torres, Ousmane Dembele might also be someone to look at. Goncalo Ramos left PSG to AC Milan, so
Yeah.
it's not someone we might think he could score. Missing Greenwood also already left Olympic Marseille, so I think
I
it's
think
just of the fun as well.
the other customers would be Alexander Lacazette.
Lacazette, but
Lacazette would
he's
be the
been
only other person that you can think of who would go, you know, toe to toe
yeah,
with
he's been
the
quiet, but
other
it
attackers. Yes, and
yeah.
then he used to be Aubameyang too, who used to chip in some goals.
Yeah,
But
yeah, for Olympic.
then
He was
again,
in
at the end
Marseille
of the
last season.
day,
Yeah,
you don't really expect the high numbers from the French league,
yeah.
but you never know.
It was 21 last season. Even actually, it's been 21 last season and the season before. 21 last
Exactly.
season. 21 between missing Greenwood and who was that again? And Ousmane Dembele the season
Money,
before that. So we might be looking at another 21 of the
21
year
goal season. Yeah,
early 20s last this coming season as well. But it's gonna be
yeah.
interesting. It's gonna be interesting. Lons already showed that okay, they have the fight in them. They defeated
Hmm.
PSG in the opener for their league. So it will be interesting to see how that unfolds. Yeah. So yeah, I think we can move on to the Serie A. No, let's take the German Bundesliga before the Serie A.
The Bundesliga.
Yeah, the German Bundesliga. This is also another
I
league
think
that it's difficult to
it's
imagine a
it's open
different
and
league
short.
that is not
It's really really open and short.
Bayern
You
Munich.
don't really
Yeah,
expect much from
yeah,
anybody else apart from Bayern.
yeah, yeah,
You don't.
yeah.
You don't.
I mean, they've not played their season opener. I guess that's going to happen this weekend. Probably between. I'm not even sure. It's going to be between Bayern Munich and who won
I
DFB
think they
Pokal. Is
have
it not
what.
still Bayern Munich?
It's. I think it's
Is it
their.
not Bayern Munich
What do you
or
call
Leipzig?
their? It's like their community shield as well.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that's what they're going to play this weekend. I'm not
Yes.
just sure who they're going to be playing against. So let me try to check. Who Bayern Munich is going to be playing that season opener against. That's if they are playing this weekend, which I think they should be. They should be playing this weekend. I can't find it, but just so that we don't waste time, we can just move on. I think it's also difficult to imagine any other winner winning the German league this season. It's going to
Very
be Bayern Munich's cup to lose.
all day.
Um, if you look at Bayern squad as well, they have a squad that talking about the league, they have a squad to dominate and win the league. I don't think any of the other teams have actually beefed up their squad like that to the point where they can't challenge Bayern Munich for the title. Maybe Leverkusen. I mean, they've tried to sign a couple of players, but I still don't think they've signed enough players for them to be super competitive and try to take the league away, rest of the league out of the hands of Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich themselves, they still retain most of their star players are still there. Hurricane is still there. Michael Olise
Their
is still
additions.
firing. Diaz is still there. Yama Musiala, okay, maybe he's injured or maybe he's not super fit. He's been fainting this last couple of days. So, but I
Yeah.
expect him to be back and do things for them this season. They still have Manuel Neuer in goal. Joshua Kimmich is still there. Vision Company is Serie A coach. So they are still very, very stacked. And most of the team that did amazing for them last season, they had a very good run in Champions League. They won the
In the
league.
World
So
Cup,
those, yeah,
yeah,
so the core of those guys are still there. And let's not forget,
yes,
they signed one of the star player
for the
For
World Cup,
Morocco in the last World Cup
yes,
in Saibari. So
bye
Saibari is also going to be a backup striker for Hurricane, which
for
is,
Harry Kane,
in my opinion, an upgrade on the person they had last season, Nicholas Jackson. So
Nicholas
Sabari to
Jackson.
Jackson, I think it's an upgrade. So if you look at the Bayern Munic's team this season, they haven't the squad is there. The squad is there to retain the league. It will be hard.
Yes.
Dortmund is still going to be a team that I expect them to challenge. Dortmund should challenge. Leverkusen should challenge.
So I
Leipzig,
think
they should
the
challenge as
only
well.
other
But they already
the only
sold all
other
of their
team,
star player, Yan Diomande. They've sold that one to Real
Diomande,
Madrid. They're
yes.
probably going to sell a couple of players as well. So
Mm-hmm.
I really do not see what Leipzig would do, but I know they would try to also challenge Bayern Munich for the title. But
Yeah.
it's difficult to see anyone else winning the league that is not gonna be Bayern Munich. I think Harry Kane still wins the high goal scorer title. He's been the high goal scorer came to
Easy.
since he came to Germany. He has made that his own. I think he still
Mm.
takes that. And one interesting thing for me about the German league is the fact that Chaco 04 is actually back in the league. So they gained promotion and they're back in the league. And that actually interests me a lot because Chaco 04 is actually one of my favorite team in the German Bundesliga, and it's actually quite interesting that they've been relegated for the past couple of seasons and playing in second tier of German football. Like a team as big as Chaco for imagine a team that had the likes of Rahul. When Rahul left Real Madrid, it was Chaco for he went to.
Jan
I
Klaas
had the likes of Rahul,
Huntelaar,
like Jan Huntelaar back in the days, Sand back in the days playing for
yes.
Chaco for. So imagine them now got into the point where they had to get relegated to the
You know,
second tier
it
of
didn't
German.
feel right seeing Schalke in the Bundesliga too. It
Yeah,
didn't feel
yeah,
right.
it was the same thing when Stuttgart were also relegated and they were playing second tier football. But now I think those ones are already also finding their feet in the league as well. They did really well last season in German Bundesliga. So I think Stuttgart will still be a team that will put up some effort. I expect Eintracht Frankfurt to also, if I would pick a team that I think should do a lot better than they did last season, it will be Frankfurt and maybe Freiburg as well. I think Freiburg they were playing Conference League and final football, well, if not last season, 2 seasons ago. So I would expect Freiburg to also put in some challenge. So, but
I think,
still,
and
it's still Bayern's the title to lose.
if I would say something
Yeah,
on Frankfurt and maybe I'll just quickly touch on Frankfurt and Dortmund. The
yeah,
only team I think that this season will be able to push them would have been Dortmund, but then they lost what's his name, Karim Adeyemi, which is one of their huge attacking outlets,
yeah.
and
I
they
think
lost
it's
him
they
to.
still have the Kanichuke Mika. Kanichuke Mika is still there. I think Felix Mecha as well. Mecha
Yes,
is
so
also still there.
they've been able to keep like
Seru
most of the
Girassi is
squad
still going to be
together.
there.
They have a fantastic striker, and I think he's largely underrated for some reason that
Girassi,
I
yeah,
don't really
because
can't
he's
understand.
his age, and perhaps because he's also not white. So I think we should also throw that into the mix. His age, some people are saying
And
he's old. He's 29, I think.
yeah,
So
it's
teams might not want
29.
to take a gamble on him. But yeah, Gurasi is very decent, very very decent.
Yes, I think because they've been able to keep the core of the squad together, and then they still have that togetherness. They still have the consistency, the same manager, the same players. Yes, they did
Yeah,
lose a huge attacking outlet in
Adeyemi.
Adeyemi, but
Yeah,
I think partly because he's mostly always injured, that might also not count too much. But if there's any team I expect anything from, it's Dortmund. Now, Frankfurt, on the other hand, the season that they had was a miracle. It was a miraculous season.
yeah,
And then that team has been dismantled. They lost Xhaka, they lost Florian Wirtz,
yeah.
they've lost what's the name of this their left back? Like
Are
they've
you talking
just
about Leverkusen? Yeah, I think that's Leverkusen. So Bet,
Leverkusen. I
yeah, I
said
was
Frankfurt,
Leverkusen. Yeah,
Leverkusen.
yeah,
Yeah,
Leverkusen.
pardon me. They've lost that squad that came together and did that impossible.
It's been dismantled from the coach to
Even the
Nkapi gone,
coach.
Vet gone.
So you,
What
I
do they
don't
have?
really, you
The other
can't
one that
really
went to
expect much
Liverpool.
of them again. you can't expect much of them again.
Yeah,
So
I mean they still
I
have
don't.
Patrick Chick and Boniface though. If Boniface, if this is going to be Boniface's year, then things might happen for Leverkusen. But if that's not going to be the
It's
case,
hard to
man,
it's
it's
hard to
going to be
see
quite
it.
sad.
It's hard to
Yeah,
see it. Now, if they do, I'll put my hand on my heart and say, you guys,
yeah,
you did something great. But I honestly, I don't see it happening. I think that's that about that for the German
yeah.
league.
Yeah, I think it just
Uh,
is. Yeah, it's Bayern's to lose. It will be interesting
yes.
to see anyone else win. Maybe Leverkusen might try. Dortmund might try.
I
Yeah,
think the only
I
thing
think
would
it's just
be
Bayern's to lose.
Harry
Honestly,
Kane
difficult
might
to
want
say.
to go for what's his name's record, the Gerd Muller record or the Lewandowski record.
Record.
He
Yeah,
would want to go for most goals
yeah, I want to go for that.
in a
Yeah,
single season. So I
yeah.
think that would be something he would go
And I
for
see on the cake
personally.
for him.
Yeah, for him personally, but it's almost guarantees like PSG. Bayern wins the league every year.
Yeah, yeah,
It's as simple as that. Unless
yeah.
we see another Cinderella story, we would love to see it because football
Which is
writes
not
up these
impossible.
stories.
Which is not impossible.
But in the absence of that, I don't see anything different
Yeah,
happening
in the
from what
absence
has
of
been the
that, yeah, Bayern
cases.
takes it. Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree with you 100%. So let's move to the Serie A. I think might be a bit more competitive this season. Inter Milan won the league last season, and Napoli gave them a fight, but it did not happen. And we saw
yeah,
one
dropped
very
off.
interesting story in the Serie A last season, which was Como. Imagine Como now is going to be
Yeah,
playing UCL
Champions
football.
League,
That's quite interesting. Fabregas has done
UCL,
a
yes,
really
fantastic,
amazing job with Como
fantastic, fantastic,
since they came from Serie B. He's
fantastic
done
football.
fantastic.
Yeah,
They had a very good run last season. They
yes, they
had an
had a
amazing run, and I think the Italian league, the decline of Italian football in general is actually quite sad. In the early 90s, it used to be Italian football used to be where what everyone wants to watch. Not even the APL. The teams like Fiorentina, were even teams that Gabriel Batistuta played at Fiorentina. Fiorentina
yeah,
was there. Parma were teams that people were
Parma.
talking about. Now Parma is nowhere to be found. Even the Fiorentina today is nowhere to be found. Juventus today, nowhere to be found. AC Milan, nowhere
Mm,
to be found. And we can draw a line between the decline of these teams and we can
and
correlate
the
that to the
decline of
decline of
the
Italian
Italians
football in
too.
general. So yeah,
Yes,
Italy, they failed to qualify for the World Cup three times consecutively. I mean, we Nigerians have been complaining that we've missed two World Cup. So how much more Italy, who is actually a World Cup powerhouse, a World Cup powerhouse, not even making it to the World Cup at all, three times consecutively. But I think the Italian league this season, it will be very hard to tip who might win. I think Napoli is going to have a very strong say in who wins the league this season. I think Napoli might have a very strong say. I don't think Inter Milan is going to win the league for the third time in a row. I actually did not think. I know that they are the on paper Inter Milan is still the best team in Italian football. They also now signed them with Spence, who actually did a very good job for England in the last World Cup. I think he really gave a good account of himself for in that left back position for England. So he's going to be joining Inter Milan. I think they've also tried to
yeah,
retain some of their core as well. Bastoni, a couple of teams wanted him. Real Madrid wanted Bastoni, but he's going to be staying back. They see have a Lautaro Martinez, who in the last 5 seasons he has won the high goal scorer of the league twice. They see have Marcos Thuram. So they have a couple of their guys there. Um, but I think Napoli might be able to give them a fight this season. And I'm not even going to rule out Ruben Amorim as well. I saw what he did. I think it's gotten to a point where where he might actually have been able to successfully pass on his ideas to his players. Look at what he did to Manchester United.
against
And prior to
Manchester
that
United.
Manchester United game, he had not even won any preseason game. And he got
Yeah,
to
he
Man
lost
U and he
everything.
smashed. Yeah, he lost all the games. And he got to Man U and he smashed Man U. So if Ruben
But
Amorim actually gets his rhythm. And the way he's playing, yeah, of course, Amorim is a very stubborn coach. He's going to stick to his 3-4-3 or 3-4
yes,
3-5 or 3-4-2-1 kind of formation. Very, very, very stubborn. Now he's playing Samuel Chukwueze as a wing back. He's playing Chukwueze as a wing back. He's playing, I think, Pulisic, and he also got one. He got one left back for I think from the French league down a couple of days ago. A wing back as well on the right actually. So he's also beefing up the team. Rafael Leao might also stay. They have Mike Maignan, who is not a bad goalkeeper. People like Pulisic should
French
should
number
still be
one.
there.
Should
Should still be there in the team. So I think Ruben Amorim might also challenge. They would expect him to actually challenge. If he finishes outside of the top four, I think he's going to be counted as a disaster, as a bad season, and
Mm.
might even lose his job. AC Milan, I think their target for Amorim would be for him to actually finish in the top,
Minimum,
finish in the European places.
minimum.
Even if you're not winning the league, at least
Mm.
make AC Milan competitive. Finish in the top four, that would be a good, it would have been a good result for him, or a good outing for them, if at the end of the day they finish in European football places. AS Roma as well, I think they might also challenge, and we'll try to see what they would do. I don't think
Roma.
Como, maybe Como was now Como is going to be playing European football, they're going to play UCL football. I would love to see how they're going to combine that with trying to stay competitive in the league. So let's see how that is going to pan out. I think Fabregas is equal to the task.
So for
Yeah,
Como, I think
yeah,
one of the key aspects of that football, and one of the great indicators of the kind of season that they are about to have, is the fact that they were able to keep hold of Nico Paz,
yeah, Nico
which was
Paz,
one of their keyest players for
yeah.
the entire season last
I
season.
thought he was going to go
For
back to Real Madrid, but that didn't happen. Yeah,
Honestly, we all did. We all thought Madrid was gonna just, take him back because he had a fantastic season. But I think Fabregas was able to sell the idea, the story, the dream, and what they are
yeah,
trying to achieve together. He was able to sell the idea to him, and he bought into the idea. He bought into the project, and he, stuck with, what do you call it? He stuck with Como, and
yeah,
because of that, I think they will have a fairly consistent season. Now, do they have the size of the squad to be able to handle all these competitions? Will not be the question. How will
yeah.
they be able to cope?
Oh,
Cope
yeah,
with playing a game every 3 games,
yeah,
every 5 days?
yeah,
Because in the Serie A, I think the Serie A is a bit better spaced out.
yeah,
So even if you are playing Champions League, you might not play until the Sunday, or they might help you move some games around. And then there's the December winter break. So I think maybe because of that, they will be able to, manage the players a little better. But I think that the Como dream, I still believe in Fabregas. I think he will still leave Como at some point.
yeah. Sure,
And you can see it. If
sure.
it's not Arsenal that's taking
It's
Fabregas,
not
it's going
now.
to be
Probably Barcelona when Hansi Flick leaves,
is going maybe
or
Barcelona or
Chelsea.
Chelsea.
If something
It's
happens to
one of
Xabi
the
Alonso, yeah,
you can see it
you
happening in
can
the
see the
future.
path is there. Or
Yeah,
even Real
exactly.
Madrid. It's not.
You can see it
Even Real
happening in
Madrid
the
is not
future.
ruled out. Yeah,
So for Italian football, because you touched on it and you said, oh,
yeah.
it coincides with the fall of Italian football. I
Mm-hmm.
think primarily what the problem was is that they tried to stray away from the identity of Italian football,
Hmm.
which is the defensive play.
Yeah.
Italians have always been known to be a strong defensive
They've always
unit.
had the best defenders, man.
They
Nesta,
they
Maldini,
they
Alessandro
they
Costa Curta.
always
They've
keep
always
it
had
very
the.
tight at the back. And then they started, trying to play some wide, some expand.
I, I, I think your audio. Um, yeah,
Can you hear me now?
yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, loud and clear.
Okay. I said that's not the type of football that they play. That's not what they do. They are known to be compact, very defensively compact,
Yeah,
and then they spin you on the counter. They've done it in so many seasons where that's how they got success. Their success in the Euros, in the World Cup, it's and even historically they've not been known to play the finest of football, but they are very effective. And because the league itself, we always Italian football, Italian Serie A has always had that reputation of being a strong and a man's league
yeah,
where everything is hard. Is You have to be strong to play in the Serie A.
yeah, yeah.
It has lost that identity. They moved away from it because at some point, let's be honest, football became more, maybe partly due to the influence of Pep and the success that the tiki taka
More,
football
more,
had.
more, more tactical, more
Everybody
systemic.
became more tactical, more
Yeah,
systematic.
more
They stripped away
systemic. Some
from that
kind of
identity that kept
robotic
them.
into it, and they did not follow that wave. That wave seemed to elude Italian football and their league in general. yeah,
If
and
if you
yeah.
watch the way they play, the league is more. If you watch some teams like Sampdoria, some
Mm-hmm.
teams like Girona and
Mm.
like
Genoa,
Verona, Hellas Verona,
Verona, yeah,
teams like that,
got
that
relegated.
they are just very, very compact and they
Mm,
spring you on the counter and they have fast
mm,
players.
mm-hmm.
It suits them very well. That's why you see players like Chukwueze, you see them flourishing in the Serie A. Pulisic, people who are fast on the transition and fast on the
Yeah,
counter. You see
yeah,
them flourishing. Rafael Leao. You see, what's his name? Theo Hernandez. You see players who can run the length of the pitch because
yeah.
their football is, I don't want to call it unidirectional, but that's what I think it is. They move from
Mm,
one side to the other. It's always
yeah.
this and this and this, and there's a rigid shape. And it works for them, or it worked for them for a long time. But for the mere fact that they tried to shy away from it, it affected their game and it affected the national team. Now, with Mancini coming back to the national team, if they can go back to that identity, I think that they win because if we think about the successes that they've had, even on the Champions League stage,
Super too
it was
much.
Mourinho. It was tactical soundness,
Yeah.
defensive astuteness, and then he will hit you and kill you on the counter.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they were able to win the Champions League. And that's the last time that an Italian team has won it. The last time that they got to the Champions League final again was Inter. And we all know what happened. PSG tore them
Yeah,
apart
man,
because they felt they could come out and
they
play
got
PSG.
disgraced. It was one of the most disgraceful UCL final.
They,
They got
got
walloped and
destroyed,
embarrassed, man.
destroyed.
They got walloped and embarrassed. One of the most
So
one-sided
they
UCL
need to
final I've seen
go
recently.
back to
Yeah, they
basics,
got
go back to what they're good at, go back to what they're known for, and
mm-hmm,
maybe
mm-hmm.
they'll get something like you
Yeah,
said.
I mean,
Highest goal
some people
scorer at
have
1,000,
also
easy.
I've also said it might be their lack of introducing youthfulness into their football. That Italian football is
Mm.
the only one that you would see that you'd rarely see an 18-year-old busting into their national team and doing something.
National
Back
team,
in the days,
yes.
we used to
Unless you
have the
are
likes of Giuseppe Rossi, was a young guy then, yeah, and this guy that came out from Juventus, Sebastian
Grenadier,
Giovinco. Yeah,
yes,
Giovinco,
Jovinko,
very young, amazing footballer back there, yeah,
yeah,
then. But now you would rarely see the Italian national team trying to debut a very young footballer, even
young player.
even in their club size as well, at least in the popular ones. So you rarely see like a young guy busting into the scene, and some have said, okay, this is the reason why their football has also regressed because you rarely see young or youthfulness in their side. Look at them, the Spanish team. Look at England. Look at even Germany as well. They've been trying to introduce some youth into their team. So some have said this is the reason why their football have regressed, and I think that they have some 1 or 2 points there.
You can
But
understand it. Football
yeah,
has
yeah.
become more athletic.
Yeah. So one thing I just want to touch on before we move on from this as well. So last season in the league, Peter and Genoa and Cremonese got relegated. And this
Mm.
season we're going to be having Verona, Monza, and Frosinone. And I want to talk about Verona, Venezia. So we're going to have in Venezia and Monza
Venezia.
and Frosinone. I want to talk about Venezia because they said Ako Adams and last week I think they played they played a game in the cup game which they won. Aqua Adam scoring 2 goals and giving an assist there. I don't think Venezia is going to have the same Como run. I think saying they will have like the Como run might be too might be like
Ambitious.
might be so ambitious for them. But I think they will stay in the league. I think they will stay in the league. I think they will
You think they have enough
they
quality to
are
stay in the league?
they are doing some they've done some shrewd signing, and I think they will find a way to just ensure that they stay above the waters and stay in the league. I think Venezia will stay in the league. I think
Okay.
Monza will stay in the league as well. And the reason why I also want to pick up Monza is that Monza, they have a good backing. I think is this former AC Milan owner, this Berlusconi, or what's his name again? Is one of those that are backing Monza. So I think they have some financial strength behind them. And they might and Berlusconi is one of those who knows where the skeletons are buried as long as Italian football is concerned. So and if it's one of their backers, I think I would trust Monza to try to stay in the league. So I want to see what Venezia
That's
and
a
Monza
bold
will do.
prediction.
Frosinone,
That's
I
a
think
very
they're going to go back to where they came from. I think
that's a very
Frosinone is
bold prediction. Considering that Monza is they are the team that Opta has predicted the most likely to finish last.
To
They have
finish
a
that Monza.
42% chance. They have a
I'm sticking my neck
42.9%
out for
chance of being
Monza. I think Monza
relegated.
stays. I think Monza stays. I think Monza stays. I mean, okay, let's. I think Frosinone is going back. So,
In
so not
fact,
Frosinone, so not even Frosinone. Monza is the one that opted team to get
in
relegated.
fact, you see the three teams that gained
Mm-hmm,
promotion.
mm-hmm.
Monza came with a 42.9% chance of relegation.
Hmm.
Frosinone came with a 40.7% chance. And then Venezia has a 33.7% chance of being relegated.
So,
So Opta predicts that
Venezia stays. Monza, I'm sticking my neck out for Monza. Monza stays. Monza stays. We'll see at the end of the
okay.
season.
I
I
think
think
I think
Lecce,
at this point,
Will
so
stay.
that
Lecce
your
and Frosinone,
followers,
and maybe Genoa.
and everybody watching can either hail you as one of the biggest geniuses, or you're going to look like a complete and absolute
A
prat.
complete fraud.
I think you should pick a forfeit for yourself. If
Hmm.
Monza get relegated, you will go to Monza Stadium. I'm
Oh
saying
my
this in
god.
front of all your fans. If Monza get relegated, you will go
Okay.
to Monza Stadium
Mm-hmm.
and you stand in front of the stadium and put your hands up like this and say, I believed in you. I believed in
And you
you.
disappointed me.
And you disappointed me. Please, everybody, spam the
Yes,
comment
yes, yes, I'm
section.
going to do that. I
He
will
has
do
to
that.
go
If
to
Monza gets
Monza.
relegated, I'm
If
traveling to
Monza gets
Monza.
relegated, he's going to go to their stadium and he'll drop the video. When he goes to
Yes.
their stadium, he puts his hand. In fact, he's even going to go on his knees and he's going to say, I believed in you. And you
I,
disappointed me.
sure. No problem. No, that's a bet. That's a bet. I'll do that. I'll do that if Monza get relegated. But I'm looking forward to Monza staying in the league. I think Lecce and Genoa should join Frosinone in the relegation, and I think we've both not made a prediction, or maybe I made mine. You've not made yours. I think
Oh, so for me, I think
Napoli
my
Napoli takes it.
my top
Inter
four
Milan second,
is
AC Milan third, Juventus.
I
Juventus
still
are about
don't
to tell you
see.
this. They're about to tell you this to us now. They've lost Vlahovic. No, Juventus is going to finish outside the top four. They've lost
I don't.
Vlahovic.
That's what I'm
You
saying.
is going to us now.
But
So who else do they have left there?
For
They are there.
Juventus, you have to
Very
trust
unserious team.
Spalletti. You have to trust Spalletti. Spalletti, like you said, knows where the skeletons are buried.
I mean,
It's the
yeah, he
it's the
also
Serie
knows
A.
that
He
my
has the
team.
know-how. He understands the
Yeah.
league. I think that there's that element of the familiarity between
Mm.
Spalletti and the league, and you can for sure say that okay, yes, Spalletti might be able to do something, or will do something. So that's why I'm not tipping. I think Juventus will finish in the European spots. Now, if it's
Mm.
either it's Conference League or it's Champions League or it's
Vlahovic,
Europa.
Vlahovic has gone. I think to Besiktas, if I can remember correctly.
I
Yildiz
think
most
they will
likely
be
going to
fine.
join us now. I don't
I
even know
think they'll be
who
fine.
do they have lost. Is it Wesley McKennie?
I
Is it
think
Wesley McKennie
honestly,
that they
because
have left there?
watching them towards the tail end of last season, they seem to have found some rhythm
Found some reading.
towards the tail end of last season. Now,
Mm.
when I say they found some rhythm, is they were able to sort out their defensive lapses because at some point in season last season, Juventus just kept leaking goals. If you check their match against Galatasaray, they've just kept on conceding. If you check their matches in the league, they kept on conceding. Juventus games used to go, you see them playing games out like 2-2,
Yeah,
3-3,
yeah.
4, like they kept on conceding. They were
They're going to put
scoring,
together at the
but
back.
they kept on conceding. So I think what Spalletti needs to do to keep them competitive and keep them in the European spots is fix the defense. It's clear.
Yeah.
And it's a thing that goes all around the Serie A. Fix your defense. I
Mm.
think it's the same thing for Como. Fix your defense. Don't concede silly goals for Como. Don't concede silly goals because they've conceded one or two goals from trying the Fabregas style of play, which is you have to pass out from the back. You have to develop the ball. You have to advance it. You have to make some positions. Yes, but don't concede goals.
Yeah.
Now, look at teams like Inter Milan and Napoli who've won the league in the past 2, 3 seasons. Between them, what did they do? Inter Milan were solid defensively. Inter Milan will beat you 2-0. They will beat you 1-0. And then that's it, they're done. They don't concede a lot of goals. They keep things tight at the back. They keep everything, they keep it together. So if you ask me for my prediction, because I don't see many teams scoring or outscoring Inter Milan, I think Inter Milan still retains it. Napoli comes a close second. I will tip either Como or
AC
AC
Milan.
Milan to come fourth. So for me, my first and second will be Inter Milan, Napoli, then Como third, then AC Milan, or I don't know, Atalanta, and then
AS Roma.
Juventus. AS Roma, I honestly, I don't see
You don't
anything.
see them. You don't
I
see
don't
think they'll
see.
do anything.
I don't see them now. Gasperini might prove me wrong, but I don't really see them competing for the league now because they've qualified for the Champions League. I see that putting a strain on them. They don't have that much quality in terms of forward places. They've lost some of their players as well. So
Hmm.
where do I see the quality coming from? Where do I see the goals coming from? I'm not saying they don't have them, but I'm saying I'm struggling to see them on a consistent basis. If you look at Inter Milan, you can trust the duo up front. They've kept things together. Yes, they lost Dumfries, but Dumfries was not a large source of their goals last season. Defensively solid, progressive, wonderful, but it wasn't a large source of their goals. If they lose DiMarco now, then you say that's a problem.
Hmm.
But they kept DiMarco, who I think he broke the assist record last season, if I remember correctly. And then you have Lautaro, who will always guarantee you at least 18,
Yeah,
19 goals in the league. And
yeah.
then you have Turam,
Marcus
who
Thuram as well.
is link up play with the
A
connection
good
with
chemistry.
Lautaro has been golden from day one.
Yeah,
Now, the argument for Napoli is the quality of players they have, the familiarity. They
yeah.
have Scott McTominay, who looked to have reinvented himself in the Italian Serie A.
Exactly.
You have Kevin De Bruyne.
Highlighted league. Yeah.
They still kept Sambo and Gisa. You
Mm-hmm.
have players who they play wonderfully. That's why I see them finishing second. But what I think that they lack is still that replacement for Victor Osimhen,
Yeah.
a striker that is extremely lethal. Someone who
Lukaku gave
has
them that for a while.
Lukaku gave them that for a while,
Mm.
but Lukaku always got injured. There's always an injury. There's always something niggling at him. Or Lukaku can give you 20 games straight,
Yeah.
and that's what they need. Even Osimhen never gave them that, but
You never did.
Osimhen
Yeah.
will
But
come.
every
If he
time, yeah.
gives you 12 games, in those 12 games he's scoring
He's
another
going to
10 goals
give.
or 11
Yeah.
goals.
The
He's
returns are
giving
going to
you a
be
lot of
mad.
goals, and those goals will win you games.
Yeah.
But you can be sure that Lukaku will go missing in some games. It's not a criticism of his style of play or his play, but it's just what happens.
Yeah.
He's a fantastic footballer. In fact, I think for the amount of goals that he scores, he's very underrated. Very, very
I
underrated because
agree.
yes, he has one or two errors in him,
I agree.
but the
Yeah.
amount of goals he did,
Yeah.
Lukaku will
The
guarantee you
guy
20
has
goals a
scored.
season.
He can. Yeah. He's that kind of guy.
His
He's that kind of
Belgium's
guy.
high leading goal scorer
Mm-hmm.
in their history.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of respect should go on his name. In
Yeah.
fact, when you check the players who have scored the most international goals, he's very high up on that list.
Mm-hmm.
So his quality is there, but it's the consistency of appearances. You can't have that with him. Now they've lost Lukaku. Who are they signed? They don't have a replacement, which is why I think they've been surviving on individual individual brilliances. You see some performances that McTominay will save them. Simeone will pop up. You see De Bruyne drop a last minute assist, or they win by a free kick or a
Yeah.
set piece. And
Mm-hmm.
that has been the story of their season and how they, get things
They've been
together,
getting
how they
that.
get things running, how they get points.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not sustainable.
It's
And
not
that's
enough.
part of the reasons
Yeah.
why they lost last season, because they didn't have a focal point up front. Now, this season, I think even if it's to loan somebody that will give you that consistency up front they need, or promote one of your young players, or find somebody. They need
Yeah.
to find something that gives them a different outlet. apart from what we are used to. I think we're spending too much time on Serie A. Let's
Yeah,
go.
yeah, yeah.
let's,
Yeah. So that
let's
we
go
don't
to the
spend too
next
much
one.
time here. Though. So let's go to Spanish La Liga. Yeah, I think for the La Liga, the fire seems to be back. Also, Mourinho is definitely going to. He has brought the fire and the the energy back into the Spanish La Liga. The league is going to be very interesting this season, definitely. With also Mario coming back, Barcelona signing Rodri, even Atletico Madrid as well. They brought in a
Mhm.
couple of guys. They were able to retain Julian Alvarez. He's actually a most important player. They brought
Yeah.
Cristiano Romero from Tottenham Hotspur. Who's also going to be very vital and important for them. I watched their preseason game against Manchester United, and despite the fact that they lost that game, they actually did played well against Man U, and it wasn't even their full strength in that game against
Yes.
Manchester United. So I think they're also going to do well. We've already seen Atletico Madrid play a game in the league. They won. They
Yeah,
won
they
2
won
0
2-0.
yesterday. Ademola Lookman is also still going to be very key and vital for them. But the league is going to be very interesting, and definitely also we know it's going to be a Barcelona versus Real Madrid race. I don't think that is going to change this season. It's still going to be a Barcelona versus Real Madrid race. We might see Atletico Madrid try to pop up, maybe Villarreal might try to do something. Atletico Bilbao might try to do something. Sevilla, I don't think those guys don't know what they are doing. If they don't even get relegated this season, it will I'm quite surprised. They've fallen. They've really fallen down massively in the league.
It's
One thing that also
shocking.
interests me in the Spanish La Liga this season is Deportivo La Coruna coming back into the league. This team is also one team that I've always loved. And since back in the early 2000s, when they see had the likes of Roy Mackay, Diego Tristan,
Yeah.
Capdevila, the Valerons, the Walter Pandiani, they had a lot of footballers I really love at the time, but I think around 2018 they got relegated and they've been playing the lower levels of Spanish football since then. So I'm really happy to see that they are back in the league. They've signed Aubameyang, and Aubameyang seems to have rediscovered himself as well. I think they've also played a game with the one. So I'm happy to see
Yeah, he
Deportivo back
scored
in the
on his
league.
debut.
Yeah. I don't think we're going to have um a a Cinderella. So Genoa had that kind of I say Girona, sorry. Girona, they had that kind of run in the league about 3 seasons ago when they see had Dovbik, they had this guy that joined Manchester City. What was his name again? Savinho. They had a couple of guys and they really did well. They did well in that. I think they finished third or so behind Barcelona and Real
Third,
Madrid. They
yes.
played them. They went to the Champions League, played UCL football, and that was when everything fell apart for them. So I don't think we're going to be seeing any team that can pull that kind of thing off. It's going to be a Barcelona versus Real Madrid title fight. We might see Villarreal try to do something. Atletico Bilbao, Atletico Madrid, of course, are going to be in the very, very of things and try to see if they can nick a point here and there and make sure that they are not falling too far behind Real Madrid and Barcelona.
So who do you think is going to because I
I,
need you to
who I
make a
think will win
statement
the league.
here.
Of course, I think Real Madrid. I think Real Madrid wins the league this season. I don't think Barcelona is going to do three
Why
of
do
the
you
top
think Real
five.
Madrid wins the league
So
over
this is why
Barcelona?
I think Real Madrid will win. Barcelona, they've beefed up their midfield. The signature of Rodri, of course, is a world class footballer. I think it makes a huge difference. But the thing there is still this: Barcelona still lack that point man. Lewandowski left already, and they've not
You
replaced
know.
him. So who do they have that is a point striker for them? So it's what is the signature, the signing of Alvarez was actually or he is actually quite important for them. But I don't think they're going to secure a signature. And even if they sign anyone else, the names that I'm hearing around that Barcelona attack, they are not names that I think makes me scared. I mean, Jokeres. Is it Victor Jokeres? Why should I be scared that Jokeres is coming to Barcelona? They lost Ferran Torres as well, who was even popping in some goals for them. Ferran Torres has left for PSG.
For
Lewandowski
PSG,
is also
yes.
not there. They've not signed any attacker that I think is that scary. So they still have to depend on
On
Lamine
Rooney.
Yamal, on Rafinha if he's fully fit, and Karim Adeyemi, and their English imports, their Anthony Gordon. who I
Anthony
see. So
Gordon, yeah.
these guys that they have in the attack, they are not guys that scares me, to be honest. I don't think Karim Adeyemi is the Karim Adeyemi that we knew 2 or 3 seasons ago at Borussia Dortmund. When he made the German team to the World Cup in 2022. I don't think it's that Karim Adeyemi anymore. I saw
Right.
Lamine Yamal at the World Cup, and for me, in my opinion, if that Lamine Yamal that we saw at the World Cup that failed to score one single goal at that World Cup that Spain won, if it's that Lamine Yamal that I'm going to see in the league this season, I think they should bring it on. I think they should bring it on. That Lamine
So
Yamal is not going to fail anymore.
what's now the one thing that you feel tilts it into Madrid's favor?
Because the squad, the Madrid squad on paper, pound for pound, are better than Barcelona squad today. The squad, the fact that Jose Mourinho is back, and what Mourinho brings into the team, and I think they are also fired up as well. They don't want to
Mm.
lose. You don't want to lose the league to Barcelona the third time in a row. They don't want to do that. Perhaps even winning the league this season is much more important for Real Madrid than winning the UCL.
They're winning
And
the
I think that
Champions
they are
League.
going to give it a fight. And most of all these guys at Real Madrid, they had a very good World Cup. Most of the key guys, Vinicius Junior didn't do too bad, despite the fact that Brazil did
Yeah.
not go too far in the World Cup. He didn't do too bad. Mbappe was an outstanding star at the World Cup. Bellingham was an outstanding footballer at the World Cup. I mean, England's best player at the World Cup. Courtois also did very well. It was after he got injured for Belgium when he was substituted that Spain eventually found their goal that knocked them out of the,
Found
of
their
the
way,
World Cup.
yes.
And Real Madrid, like I said, they beefed up the attack. Now,
Mm.
the problem that Real Madrid have been having on the right side of the attack has now been solved by Yan Diomande. And if Yan
Diomande.
Diomande, if he can do the same thing that Vinicius is doing on the left wing for Real Madrid on the right wing, I
It's
think
going to be a problem.
all the attacks in the league they are in for trouble. It's very pacey, it's very fast. We're going to have that same pacey and fast and trickiness with Vinicius and Yan Diomande. We are going to have Mbappe in the attack. You are going to
So
have
so so in essence,
the
there's
Bellingham
a
and
lot.
Bernardo Silva and the Trent. No man,
There's a lot in the Real Madrid attack to be excited about, to be
yeah,
very honest. You can
mhm,
see the additions have been key, which is the signing of Diomande, because that right wing was missing the
yeah,
almost the entire season last season,
yeah,
because we
yeah,
don't
yeah.
really know what's going on with
Osasuna and Brian
Rodrigo.
Diaz, yeah, they are not guys you can depend on.
We don't know what has gone down with Rodrigo. We don't. Brian Diaz obviously is not a natural winger. He's more
Yeah,
of a 10, but he can play there because
yeah.
Bellingham is your best player in the midfield.
Mm.
Then Valverde, Chouameni had an off
There's Roberto
season
Tchouaméni and Agüero. I think Real Madrid still has a problem of that getting that controller, that
in
dictate,
the
that
middle.
midfield dictator. I
Yes,
think that is still going to be a problem, and that was what I
yes.
what I thought. If Real Madrid signed Rodri, it would have solved that problem for us. But that did not
Yes.
happen. We are still going to have to manage Chouameni to play that holding midfielder, that controller role for Real Madrid. It's definitely a far
So
cry to
for
what
me,
Rodri is going to offer, or we merge both of Valverde
mm,
and Camavinga, just come in and out and see what they can do. But I think that problem is still going to be. It's not going to. It's going to be a problem, right? But it might
mm,
be solved with the fact that Real Madrid is going to score more goals, and what the attacker is going to do is going to cover up for whatever
outscore,
midfield lapses, yeah, that we're having there. And if Jose Mourinho can get into the head of Camavinga and Chouameni, they might actually be a different player than what we've seen in the last couple of seasons. So it's still going to be interesting. Now, for me, I think the league is going to be Real Madrid this season. Barcelona are definitely going to give a fight. I don't think it's going to be easy. It might even last season it was decided maybe 2 or 3 games to the end of the season. So definitely this season as well, I think the Spanish La Liga is going to get to the wire. It might even be a league that's going to be decided on the last day of the season. So I see that kind of situation happen. Yeah, happen this season. So, but Real Madrid, I think, is going to come out victorious this season. They really just have to. You can't. They can't. I don't. And I can't even remember if that has ever happened. Even when Barcelona were really hot under Van Rijkaard, under Pep Guardiola, I don't think they went 3 in a row. I don't think they've ever gone three in a row in the Spanish league, even in their heyday. So
right?
I don't
So
think they're going
in
to go 3 in a
my
row
own
under Hansi
opinion,
Flick. I don't think
if
they're
you
going to
to
go three
ask
in a row.
me,
I
I
I,
think
I think I think Real Madrid takes it this season. Yeah.
I think
And I think Mbappe still wins the high goal scorer. Of course, he's been the highest goal
oh
scorer in the
that's
league for the
that's
last 2 seasons. So I
that's
think he
that's
still
decided
takes it.
already.
Yeah, he still wins
That's
it,
decided
in my
already. That's
opinion.
decided.
Yeah.
But for me, I think as much as I would prefer otherwise, I think part of the reasons why I'm leaning toward Barcelona is because of the politics at Real Madrid. Now, Madrid is a team that's usually affected by things that happen on
And
and
off the
off
pitch.
the pitch.
Not valid.
Considering the fact that Jose is a very controversial figure, if Jose doesn't have complete and total control of that squad, there's going to be issues
Chaos.
where
Just
there's
like
going to
the
be
last season with
chaos,
people
which
fighting.
is
Imagine Valverde and Tchouameni fighting, boxing each other. That's ridiculous.
which is part of the reasons why I'm a bit hesitant. Now, do I think that Madrid has the firepower to go ahead and win the league? 100%. I don't think anybody can match them. In fact, if you
Yeah.
ask me, I'm going to make a bold statement and say Madrid would outscore everybody. Madrid will score
Yeah.
the highest number of goals in the league.
Yeah.
100%. But when things don't go right, the egos that have been affecting Real Madrid for the past 3 or 4 seasons, maybe let's say 2 or 3 seasons, because all this started, and as crazy as it will sound, all this really started when Mbappe
When
came.
they joined. Yeah.
Let's be
Interesting.
honest, because before they
Yeah.
came,
Yeah.
Madrid won the Champions League. There was unity in
Yeah.
that squad.
Before he came.
Everybody was together, and then Cruz
Hmm.
retired, and Madrid has struggled to replace Tony Cruz.
Yeah.
It's not even the Modric replacement; it's that Tony. Tony
That
Cruz.
close,
They used
yeah.
to call
The
him
cruise was more of the
metronome.
control. That close throw. Someone who can distribute the ball.
The metronome. That's him. He decides and
Hmm.
determines how your team plays.
Yeah.
Madrid has not been able to replace that. And so those key parts, do I think that Mourinho will go all the way? 100%. But the question is, will they let him? Will the will Perez or will the Madrid politics affect the team this season? Those are the questions that need to be answered. If the simple question is, does Madrid have the quality to win the league? Yes.
Definitely, yes.
Do the
Yeah.
things that happen off the pitch, will they affect? We don't know. We can't decide.
Mm,
But the
mm.
one thing that you can always be sure about is that even considering the fact that Barca is still going through Negrera, everything that's going on, Barca is still, the team is not affected by it.
Yeah.
And that's the difference between Madrid and Barca, because Madrid is a much bigger club.
Yeah.
So obviously, the La Liga is a two-horse race between Barca and
Definitely
Madrid.
trust race. It's gonna be Barcelona Real Madrid.
Definitely. Barcelona and Madrid. So 1, 2, 3, we
Mm,
can know this. We just don't know which team will be first, which team will be second.
mm,
We for
mm,
sure know which team is going to be third,
mm.
which is Atletico Madrid. Maybe fourth.
Maybe
Now,
where did they finish? Yeah, they finished fourth last season actually behind Villarreal. So yeah,
maybe
behind
fourth. This
Villarreal, and there's Real Betis as well. I mean that's interesting.
there's
It's true.
there's Real Betis, there's
Celta de Vigo
Athletic
and
Bilbao
Getafe.
that managed to
Atletico
keep on
Bilbao.
to
Yeah.
the Inaki brother.
Mm.
So
They
my
didn't do
that's
well last
why
season though.
I'm leaning towards Barcelona, because you expect some politics to happen in La Liga in Madrid that might affect the team. But if everything goes on well behind the scenes, 100% Madrid wins the league, because Mourinho, we all know, will come with a siege mentality. It is us against the world.
Yeah.
That's what Mourinho brings, and he tries to unify the squad. He finds a common enemy and he unifies them. And he knows that once he is able to fix them in that mindset that says,
And then
oh,
in that frame.
everybody is against us, you know that everybody is in trouble. Because once he gets them in that mood, it's done. It's done. They will run through a brick wall for Mourinho.
Yeah.
That's one thing that resonates in all the clubs that he's been. They will tell you that if the manager tells us to run through a wall, we will not even think before we run. So if he's able to build that mentality, the coaches that build that mentality that people want to play for. You talk about Alex
Guardiola.
Ferguson. You talk about Jurgen Klopp. You talk about
Yeah.
Guardiola,
Ancelotti.
Marcelotti, Mourinho. Play
Mm,
coaches like that.
mm.
That are man managers as well.
Yeah.
They know how to manage you. They know how to manage you. He knows how to play on your emotions. He
Yeah.
knows how to get the best out of you. How to get a rile out of you, especially when he's dealing with the top
Mm.
players, and he knows what he can expect from them. So if he's able to do that uninterrupted and unhindered by the politics, I think Madrid wins the league. For me, people who I think, Pichichi, obviously.
Mbappe.
Kylian wins that. Who do I think would be the teams that will relegate? I'm looking at Racing, and I don't think that
Racing
Racing.
Santander.
I don't
Where did
think
they
that's
finish last season?
no.
Oh,
They
they
just
just
came
came.
back.
Oh,
Yeah, they
they
just
came
came back.
yeah, with Deportivo. So definitely, yeah, no, no.
They
Racing
just came
Santander
back.
is going back. I think they
So
came with
it's
Deportivo. Who is the third
they
team
came
that
with
came? Malaga, I think.
Deportivo
Is it Malaga?
and yeah, Malaga.
Malaga. I don't know. I
And
don't know.
Malaga
I don't know.
already lost to Atletico yesterday.
Yeah,
And
yeah. No, no,
touching on Atletico,
Malaga would go back. Maybe Oviedo
touching
can join them, but I think
touching on
Deportivo stays.
touching on Atletico, the two goals they scored yesterday, one was from a free kick, the other
Hmm.
was from a moment of magic from
Hmm.
Lee Kangin.
Ekangeli, yeah. When I
It
saw that goal, it
was
was sublime, man.
it was a
It was also
fantastic
out
goal.
of this world.
Individual brilliance. Apart
Out of this
from
world.
those two moments, they looked
Mhm.
blunt.
Yeah.
Maybe because they didn't have what's the name of this their
Julian
striker?
Alvarez.
Alvarez playing on the pitch, but they looked blunt without him. But this is
Mm.
the thing about Atletico that everybody loves. They know how to grind out
They know
results.
how to grind out results.
They will always grind out that result. They will
They
get it.
know how to grind out result.
They've
That draw,
they've
that
they've
one
played
nil
this league.
victory they do.
They the epitome or the highest point that they showed that they have the mentality or in the past was when they had to get a point at the Camp Nou to win the league. And Diego Costa got injured in the first half
Mm-hmm.
and they still somehow managed to draw that match.
And man,
It
they
was
kill themselves
that
there.
was peak
They
Simeone.
kill themselves in that game.
So it's going to be a very very interesting La Liga race. The race that I really really hope we get a finish like the one we got last season, where until the last game of the season we didn't know who was getting relegated and who was going to Europe because the table between I think it was eighth or seventh
Yeah.
and 16th was separated by just three or
Yeah.
four
By a
points.
couple
It
of
was
points.
madness. It was
Yeah.
one of the
Sevilla there. Sevilla
greatest finishes
were
to
in
a
the
La
mix.
Liga
Yeah.
season that we've
Mm-hmm.
ever witnessed. And if
Mm-hmm.
that happens again this season, we are in for a
Mm-hmm.
treat. So hopefully that comes up. My teams to relegate Racing, I'm sorry. Deportivo actually is the team with the highest start percentage to be relegated according to Opta again.
After you relegating my team.
Opta is really against you and
Yeah,
your
after
teams.
against me. They want to relegate my team. No, no, I think the post
Opta is
is
the
so
weapon
far.
fashioned against you, I'm telling you. So Opta has the three teams with the highest chances are Racing, Elche, and
Mm-hmm.
Deportivo, according to Opta.
Okay.
Those are the teams
Mm-hmm.
that they
Mm-hmm.
expect to go
To get
down the most.
relegated.
But I don't, if you ask me, I don't think Elche goes. I think Elche stays.
I
Uh,
think Oviedo goes. Oviedo goes. Racing Santander goes, and Depo stays. Depo stays. Malaga might stay because they've probably been
Malaga,
there before. Malaga might stay, but I think Real Oviedo goes. I think Elche goes as well. Maybe Elche might, but yeah, Elche might.
Oviedo is gone already. Oviedo is
Oh, Oviedo.
Cazorla's team now. They went last season.
That's something. That's something. Okay, also don't waste time. Also, let's just wrap this up on the La Liga. For me, like I said, I think Real Madrid wins. I think if we have all our most important players fit for most
Mm,
part of the season, the
yeah.
Venice, the Mbappe, and in the defense, if we have Konate, and either Konate or Uisi, or Konate and Rudiger, if they're at the top of their game, I think we're going to have
Yeah,
we're
I
going to
agree.
win the league at the end of the day. So yeah, let's move on
Now
finally
let's go to the most watched league.
to the people that likes to make noise. Yeah, the
Ah,
EPL. So yeah,
so for the
I think
EPL,
EPL too. And
I'm
now
very,
we can agree is now shaping up to be a one team league now. So you buy a German Bundesliga or a kind of
no,
PSG. I think that is
no,
what we now have in the EPL because
no.
everyone knows now that the
I
EPL
will argue against it.
Is Arsenal's title to lose.
I
I
will
think
argue
that's
against it.
given.
And the point is, my point is this. Now, this is why I'm arguing against it.
Hmm.
A lot of Arsenal's goals last season, game-winning goals, came from set pieces.
They
There
trashed
have been
Manchester City 3-0.
changes.
3-0 just a couple of days ago.
Let's forget about that. There's been changes in the rules to stop. all that play acting,
Shenanigans
all
that we
that
used.
fouling, all the dragging that's going on in the box, there will be a lot more penalties given now. Which and the rules is one of the changes is if a player is holding on to another player and his eyes are not looking at the ball or he's not facing the direction of the ball, he's just holding the player trying to get him away from it, that is automatically deemed
That's a
as a
foul.
foul. And then players obstructing the keeper, you don't even have to raise your hand and block him now. If you're obstructing the keeper while he's trying to go up and claim, it's a foul now. So the threshold has been raised. And a lot of Arsenal's game-winning goals, I'm not saying all their goals, but some of their game-winning goals came from situations like that. They had a lot of I think they got a lot of favorable calls. They got a lot of points or some points in some matches where you would have expected that if VAR did their job, they would have lost those games. Which is why I'm saying that I don't think the same thing that applies in the Bundesliga or in the Ligue 1 would apply in Premier League because we don't have one team that has won seven, six in a row.
In a row in England, yeah. But the reason why I think this is still Arsenal's league to lose
It's
is
Arsenal's league to lose.
if we look at their recruitment, the way they've recruited in this transfer window, that is still ongoing. I think they've made some very, very astute
True
and shrewd,
signings.
yeah,
Yes,
recruitment. Look at
I agree.
the signing of Bruno Guimaraes. I think that's a very shrewd signing on their part. Look at the side; they let Leandro Trossard go, and they brought in Zolis. Zolis
It's
has
the
already slotted
goals.
into that team. It's
Ugh,
like it's been part of them for a while.
that boy is
He's already slotted
disgusting.
in. He's scoring. He's giving assists. So they've not they are stronger than they were last season, in my opinion, with these two signings. And they might even let
Yes,
some people like maybe Martinelli might leave. I know Galatasaray seems to be on his neck. They might
yes.
get a striker and maybe allow Gabriel Jesus also leave, or Kai Havertz.
Yeah,
One of them
I
might
hear
leave as well.
Juventus is
So
scouting around for
if you look at the
Jesus.
way they've been recruiting, I think they've
Hmm.
made some very decent signings, and the team currently is actually very strong as well. They're also going to bring in a new defender. I think they're going to sign a Konsa from Aston
Yeah, they've
Villa.
signed
So
Consa
yeah,
already.
they've signed him. So they are doing some very shrewd signing across all department of from the defense to the midfield to the attack. And one thing they are going to do that is going to be the icing on the cake is if they get a very decent striker. There have been rumors about Victor Osimhen. We don't know how concrete that is, but even if they don't get Osimhen, we get like another striker that can just bang in the goals for them. I think Arsenal is going to be threatening, and not just in the EPL. I think they're also going
In
to
the
be
Champions League.
threatening in the Champions League as well. They got to the final last season. I don't think they are well on their path to making another final as well if we're not careful
Appearances.
in Europe. So they've made some very shrewd and decent signing. If I look across all the other squads, looking at Liverpool have they are neither here nor there with their
I
signings.
agree.
They've tried to sign a couple of players, they've been rejected. They tried to sign Yandy Omande, that hasn't worked out. They've been on Bradley Bacola for 3 weeks now. That hasn't yielded any results. I don't even think
I really
Liverpool
don't understand
have brought any new
I
signing
I think
for Raola. And even your preseason games that you've played as well, I don't think you've been blowing teams out of the park in those in those games.
no,
So
we won only one or two of those preseasons. The rest we lost.
yeah, so
The rest we
going
lost.
into the season, Liverpool is not oozing confidence. We know that preseason are not they're not a barometer to judge how the season is gonna go.
True.
But at least if you are winning, it gives you some confidence going into the season. So Liverpool, they've not been. You also have a new coach in Iraola. Looking at Chelsea, they have a new coach in Xabi Alonso, who is also going to start understand his squad and find his feet. They've made a couple or maybe a lot of signing as well. Like in Chelsea's typical fashion, they always sign a lot of footballers. Every transfer window as it seems now. They've been slashed with a ban as well, so they won't be able to sign players for the next I think two seasons
Two
after
windows,
this
yes.
one. So yeah, so that's also going to be something hanging over their head
So
this season. They would
my
hope
own
that.
sorry, if I will just touch on Chelsea before I
Mhm.
forget.
Yeah.
I think Chelsea has more of an advantage this season
Mm.
because They don't play in Europe.
Yeah, that's true. That's
They
true,
have a
and that's our biggest
very large
advantage.
squad. And for the manager that they have, I think he will be able to manage them well. He doesn't have the egos that he has in that he had in that Madrid squad. But
Yeah,
even while he was managing those egos in
that was what pushed
Madrid
him.
squad,
It
he
was
wasn't
doing well.
off. He wasn't off the mark in chasing the leaders.
Yeah.
That's why I could say that he was a good coach. It
Mm-hmm.
was just the wrong time and the wrong
Yeah.
fit.
That
But
100%.
look at the players that they have at that Chelsea squad. They have quality players all
Yeah.
around the pitch. They have added Morgan Rogers, who's a fantastic ball progressor. He
Yeah. It's
progresses the
good.
ball lovely, and then his understanding of Cole Palmer, because they really both of them came through Manchester City's academy
Yeah.
together. Now reuniting that pair and asking them to just go and express themselves. You have
Yeah.
Jao Pedro in the middle. You have Pedro Neto on one side. You have whoever it is you want to put on the other side. It on paper it looks exciting. You have Moses Caicedo, who is for me is the best DM in the league. Now that
Yeah.
Rodri has gone, he's the best defensive
Is
midfielder in the league.
and you also have some goal scoring threats as well. And you have
You
your
have
Pedro, who
this
is very good,
stand.
and they have
You
some
should
very
have this
interesting
stand.
players on the flank for them as well. They just
And they
brought
play
in
once a week.
Koenda from Sporting
They play
Lisbon, and I
once a
think
week.
yeah, once a week. And there's Esteval there
So,
as well. They
which
have
is
the guy
why I'm
Jackson Mark,
saying
who seems to be
it's
very smart with his link up play. Yeah, so
as much as we would be tempted to say yes, it's Arsenal's title to lose.
title to
There
lose.
are
Yeah.
also there are also mitigating factors.
Mm-hmm.
Sense that Manchester United have been on the up and up and up, and as well they've made very good signings. Two good signings.
Good signing though. The average you
Tillemans
Tillemans,
is a good
Andre
signing.
Santos.
And they
On
signed and
paper,
they Santos, but Tillemans is a very good signing for a Manchester
Tillemans is
United
good.
squad that needs midfield stability. It's a good signing.
Tillemans is
Let's
good.
be honest,
Mbeumo
Bruno
has
is
been
31.
has been on fire in the preseasons. I think Sesko is still a mismatch, in my opinion. I don't see him doing anything even in this common season as well. Amad Diallo, okay, maybe he can try for them,
But
but I don't know. Cunha, mm,
you can see Diallo, you can see Kunia, you can see Mbumo, and then you know that the way Carrick has been able to merge the team together, the way he has been able to get them to play, and then the way he got Bruno ticking,
yeah,
you can already tell that they are going to have a good season because
they,
of the
will- they will.
continuity.
They will. I see them finishing in top four as well.
I
I don't
honestly,
think
in my own
I don't
books,
think they would win the league. I think Arsenal still takes the league, but I
as much
think
as
Man U
this
is going to
hurts me
finish
to
in
say,
European football places just like they did last year.
I think United will finish second. I think if
You think
I'll just
Man U will finish second?
yes,
Mm.
I'll just jump right into it. I think the top four is Arsenal, United, Chelsea, Liverpool. I think City finished fifth,
No, yeah,
Villa finished
I
sixth.
don't see those. I think those ones are just going to get their ass handed to them this season. Enzo
I'm telling
Maresca,
you,
with the way he has started, and even outside of that, I think they are in for a shocker this season.
I think
They
the loss of
signed one of the
Rodri
most expensive for
midfield.
nothing football. This Elliot Anderson that they blew the 100 and something million pounds on. I don't think that guy is worth it. Reinders has left. They sold that one to Saudi Arabia. Their coach, who has been the one making them tick, has also left. Now they've lost Rodri. The only person they have now in their attack is Alan. I know they have Doku, and they are my Ghanaian brother Semenyo. But maybe in my opinion, I think Semenyo or Semenyo,
It's
whichever they
Semenyo.
pronounce his name, I think he's been misplatformed. I think he's actually supposed to be playing the role that Doku is playing. But because Doku cannot play anywhere else, they have to play Doku on the left and continue playing Semenyo on the right. Who I
On the
actually
right.
think needs to also play on the left. If you play Semenyo on the left, it's going to give you the result. But now you have to play Doku there. Then you move him to the right, and you have Erling Haaland as well alone to do the job. Even if they're able to get Enzo, if they're able to get Enzo from Chelsea, I don't think that even makes much different for them. I don't think they have the manager to get the best out of the crop of players that they have at the moment. I don't think they have the manager for that. I definitely do not see Manchester City finishing in the top four. I think I'll put them fifth. just like you have as well. I think I'm going to put them fifth. And one team that I think we should not forget is actually Spurs. They've been recruiting heavily in this window. They've got
Yes,
Alessandro Tonali.
yes. That's why
Um,
I have them finishing
and
just
even their coach, Dezebi came towards I think the later half of last season into that team, and he tried to find some stability and ensure that they don't get relegated. And they've been recruiting, they've been spending money. Although they've lost some guys as well. They've lost Spence, they lost Spence to Inter Milan, they lost Romero to
Romero
Romero
to Atletico.
to Atletico Madrid. So they would need to do some defensive signing as well. I know they're in the market for a striker. They are rumored to also be after Victor Osimhen.
Osimhen.
Most likely that won't happen. But they've been recruiting. They've been recruiting. Can't even remember some of the other footballers they signed, but I know they said have been recruiting. I think
Mhm.
they are going to try to be competitive this season. Maybe not finish in the top four, but I see them in the top 10, maybe top eight as well. I think we
Mm.
are still going to see teams like Bournemouth do very well in the league. One team that I'm actually looking forward to that I think might do well or might be my own dark horse in the Premier
Dark
League this
horse.
season is going to be Fulham. I'm quite
Fulham.
yeah, it's going to be Fulham. It's going to be Fulham because of course my ex coach went there. About
Oh,
Fulham
Abeloa.
Fulham. He got a couple of players from Real Madrid. Gonzalo Garcia is going to is now playing for them. Palacios is playing for them. So he got some of our guys and playing for them. And even last season they didn't do too bad as well. They still have the Alex Iwobi. They still have I think Muniz is there as well. I think Calvin Bassey is going to be their captain for this
Yes.
season. I hope he actually captains it. And Abela
No,
makes
I
him the captain, but I think that might happen. So
I
I'm
think
looking forward to what Fulham will do
why
this
are they
season.
changing captains though?
Nah, I don't know. I'm not sure. Yeah, not sure. But the pattern between Kevin Bass and Castan is one that I look forward to. So I think Fulham should do well. They should finish in the top 10. I see Bournemouth still trying to be competitive. Teams like Brentford still doing really well.
Bournemouth?
Aston Villa
No.
definitely, of course, is with Unai Emery in charge, and they've also been recruiting. I think Aston Villa actually, in my opinion, might even finish in the top four. I don't really
So
um
give me hold on,
Man
hold on.
U.
Give me like come out
Okay, yeah, in my
and let
opinion, of
yeah,
course,
give me your top
definitely.
six or
So
your top
my
20
top
in this
six,
case.
Of course, Arsenal wins the league. So
Okay?
Arsenal,
Mm-hmm. Arsenal
um,
first.
yeah, Arsenal definitely first. So Arsenal
Okay.
first. Man, this is tougher than I thought it would be. So Arsenal
Exactly.
first. I will
Yes.
put Chelsea second.
Chelsea second, okay.
Yes, I would put Manchester United third.
United third,
I would put Liverpool fourth.
Liverpool
I'll
fourth,
put Aston Villa fifth.
Villa fifth,
Yes, and I'll put Manchester City sixth.
Manchester City sixth.
Man,
Okay.
that's a very tough
My
one.
top six
That's very
is
tough.
Arsenal first,
Mm-hmm.
United second, Chelsea
United.
third,
Mm,
Liverpool fourth,
mm.
City fifth, and Villa sixth.
And Villa
By
sixth.
just 1 point ahead of Spurs.
So the Spurs, the Bournemouth, the Brentford,
I think
um,
Bournemouth will have a terrible season. I'm
Bournemouth.
tipping Bournemouth 16th.
They see how we got Thiago. They see how we got Thiago. It's not.
Bournemouth, not
It got
Brentford.
Thiago is
Brentford,
Brentford.
I have Brentford finishing 11th.
It got Thiago is Brentford, not Bournemouth, right? So I think
Bournemouth,
Bournemouth is the one
partly because of
with Gino Krupi, and Krupi I think is injured now.
Iraola that left them,
Yeah, Raula
who
left. Yeah,
the originator of their
Raula
system.
left.
I don't think that.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. But Coventry is back in the league. I think we should talk about that. And I actually don't think Coventry get relegated. I think they stay back in the league. I think they stay back. They've done some recruitment. They've taken Taiwo Awoniyi from
Really?
Nottingham Forest. Has joined them. Frank Oyeka, of course, he left Brentford to join them on loan last season. In championship, and he won the championship with them. Got back to the league. Of course, Frank Lampard. This is not Frank Lampard's first rodeo
First
in the
time, yeah.
EPL. He's been coach of Everton. He failed there. He's been coach of Chelsea. Didn't do too well. Now it's going to be his third attempt at coaching a team in the EPL with Coventry. So I think Coventry. Coventry stays in the league, I think they will stay in the
So
league. So
who do you have
um,
going down?
who do I have going down? So for the teams that came, let me just check because
You have
I think
Coventry, Hull, and Ipswich are the
I
three
think
teams
two
that
of
came
those
up.
are going back down. So yeah, so it's Coventry who so that no definitely all City is finishing last in that league. There's no two ways about it. They weren't
I
even
think
supposed
Ipswich
to make
finishes
it. The
last.
way they even make it past the playoffs and
Oh
qualify was
yeah,
yeah, it was some kind of shaky. I think they play against Middlesbrough. They had even lost to Borough or something like that. Maybe those one got
I think it
dumped
was
points.
Southampton. Yeah,
I
but
would have
they
preferred if it was what's the name of the Millwall? Millwall was the one I was expecting to make it through the playoffs, but for some reason they fell
they fell
they fell
behind.
and couldn't qualify. Even Wrexham as well. Yeah, at some point they felt like they were in the mix, but they couldn't make it to the playoffs. So I think all
But we
City goes
can, we
down. I
can, we
think
can,
Ipswich goes
we
down. I think
can.
only Coventry stays. So all goes. Ipswich goes. Coventry stays back. Then I need to pick one of those laggards
Yeah.
that.
You think Leeds goes or Palace goes?
Oh, Palace stays. Palace stays. Leeds might go. Leeds might go. Palace stays. Leeds go.
That's bold.
Yeah. So
For
let
me,
me
my
see
bottom three,
how the
my
table
bottom three
ended.
as uh,
Not
Ipswich
Nottingham Forest.
dead
Yeah, Leeds go.
last.
So I think all goes. Leeds goes. Then Ipswich goes. Yeah,
I have
that's what I'm
Ipswich
listening to you.
dead last. I have because yes, they got promotions, but they changed their manager. They bought a ton of players.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to take them a while to get settled, to get used to the new system. I think what works better or best for teams that have just been promoted is consistency.
Hmm.
For teams that have come and immediately changed their managers, it hasn't really done well. Yeah, you have some cases that hit the nail on the head, but more often than not, is usually a colossal failure. But
Hmm.
in this case, you don't know what it will be. But for me, because of the changes and you have too many moving parts, I think Ipswich goes.
Yeah.
Hall, for me, it's just no,
They would go. I think my opinion is
no,
that they will finish last,
no,
not even Ipswich. All
no,
is going back to where they came from.
no. And then for Coventry, I think Coventry goes down too. Not because they don't have the quality, but because I think they don't have they don't have as much quality as we would expect that they would need to remain in the champions
Hmm.
in the Premier League. They don't have as much quality. And then as harsh as this will sound, I'm not convinced yet by Frank Lampard.
So you think
Because all these
the same
teams,
three that got promoted are going back? The
but
same three.
yeah, I think it's the same three.
Hmm.
Because if I'm
I
going to
think Coventry
judge Frank
stays.
Lampard, I will judge him based off of what he has done in the Premier League in the past.
Hmm.
His time
It's not
have not
convincing.
been they've not been remarkable. They've not
Yeah,
been
agreed.
his teams have not been really exciting. They've not
Yeah.
been solid defensively. They've not been fluid on the attack. It's just they have crest and troughs. And then the numbers that are underlying Coventry's promotion, the numbers were not great.
Hmm.
They just had they had a
But
lot of
they
things.
won the championship though.
Yes, they won the championship,
Yeah.
but the
They
numbers
won the
behind it
and it was very
they were not
competitive.
fantastic. The numbers were not fantastic. Yes, they won the championship, but they were not really conceding a lot of goals. They were keeping clean sheets. If you come to the Premier League, you will concede.
Hmm.
You will concede, and if you're not scoring as much as you should be scoring, and you are conceding,
Yeah. Then you're in trouble.
which
You're
is
in trouble.
I just and like I said, I'm not judging him based off of the team that came from the championship. I'm judging him based off of the history that he has had in the Premier League. His teams
Hmm.
have not been really solid defensively.
Yeah.
So you can't really make an argument for, okay, they will short things up at the back
Mm-hmm.
and they will explode. Yes, they bought Taiwo Awoni, but did they get a
Hmm.
central defender?
Hmm.
did they buy the places that I think his teams historically have problems, which is
Yeah,
in the
they
center
are
back,
probably doing recruitment, but he's not
but they've
making
not announced any signings.
the popular news. But yeah,
So
I think they are
that's
signing.
why
So
I think, although I would like for the Cinderella story to continue, for them to remain in the Premier League, but I
mhm,
think they go down. I
they go
think it's
down.
going to be a toss up between them and Nottingham Forest.
Nothing. Yeah.
I think
I
Nottingham
mean,
Forest finishes 17th for me.
they got only Glasner, right? I think Glasner left okay, Palace.
Crystal Palace, yes.
Yeah, he left Palace for Nottingham. So Nottingham Forest might. Yeah, I don't know.
I
I know that
think,
in the last two seasons they've been tasting relegation waters and they've just been managing to survive.
yeah,
So
it will
yeah,
take them a while. It will take
that
them a
thing
while.
is hanging over their head. So that
It
it's
will take them.
possible that they might be the one to if any of the teams that are currently in the EPL going to get relegated. I definitely agree. It's between them and Leeds United. So it's
Yeah.
possible that they might get the boats, but I think
So
Leeds. I think Leeds are
let me
making
just
them.
give you a quick run through of my own top 20 and the way
Okay.
I have arranged them. My
The way
number
you've ordered
one, like I
them.
said,
Mhm,
Arsenal,
mhm,
United second, Chelsea
mhm,
third, Liverpool
mhm,
fourth, City fifth, Villa
mhm,
sixth,
mhm,
Spurs seventh.
mhm.
And then you have Newcastle. I think Newcastle will finish eighth.
Yeah,
I
these ones are
think
going to be in
Brighton will
trouble.
have a good season and
Mhm.
finish ninth.
Yeah.
I think Sunderland will finish mid-table. They will
Mhm,
be very steady and they'll finish 10th. Brentford, I think they will finish 11th.
mhm,
Everton will finish a comfortable 12th
mm,
because of the stability that they have under David Moyes. I
mm,
think Palace will maintain their yearly 13th,
mm,
uh, 13th place finish. And then I think just underneath them is Fulham.
mhm,
And then you have a bottom five, bottom six of Leeds,
mhm,
Bournemouth, Forest. And then
mhm.
my bottom three that are relegated will be Coventry Hall
Commentary
and
also doing it
Ipswich.
now. I think
Who wins your golden
one
boot?
big huge disagreement I'm going to have with you in that your arrangement is going to be Newcastle. I think Newcastle finishes in 15th or 16th this season.
Yeah.
They are going
Well,
to be in very big trouble this season. They've sold
I
most of their good
I
guys.
think
They
so
are not
too.
signing. Players are rejecting them
Yeah.
left and right. I think they are going to be in deep waters this season. They're going to be in trouble. They won't get relegated, of course, but
Hmm.
they are going to be they are going to be in trouble. I don't think they finish in the first half
I agree. I
of the
think I
table. They are going
overestimated
to be
them.
in the
Maybe
lower.
it's because
Yeah,
I'm wearing their colors.
they are they are going to be in trouble. They are going to be in trouble. Well, yeah. So while I'm not going to do like a top 20 like you've just did, I think my top six like I have done earlier still stays. The league is Arsenal to lose. They are going to win.
Yeah,
So just
we
like I
agree.
said, Arsenal.
We all agree. We
Sports,
all
yeah,
agree with that.
Chelsea. After the Man U, Liverpool, Aston Villa, Manchester City. So that's how
Oh,
I
so
see
we
it.
both agree Liverpool will finish fourth.
Yeah. I think Fulham might do well. We're still going to see the Bournemouth and Brentford try to also put up a fight.
Hmm.
I think Coventry stays as well. And for the high goal scorer in the league, it's in the last
Easy.
couple of seasons, it's been if Haaland and Mo Salah fight, so it's been between them. Now Mo Salah's era in the EPL is finally over. So it came to a very gracious end. He's an EPL legend. No one can take that from EPL legend, Liverpool legend.
I
Now he has gone to this has taken the football to
Trabzonspor.
Trabzon. So
Yeah,
yeah, he's going to be battling it out. I mean, he's in good company in Trabzonspor anyway. He has Paul Onuachu there, who has also been doing a very good job for
And Andre
Trabzonspor.
and
So
our Cameroonian brother Andre Onana.
yeah, and Onana and this other Chibukenwewu as well for the who is a very good defender for Trabzonspor. And there have been rumors that
Yeah.
was going to join Fulham, but I think that deal did not materialize. So he's in good company there. I still think Alan retains his golden
Easy,
boot.
easy,
Yeah,
easy.
Alan.
Alan
If
easy.
Liverpool does really well, maybe an Isak is up to it.
Isak.
It might want to be in the conversation. We don't know who Arsenal is going to sign, but if they don't sign anybody who is top, then I don't think anyone from Arsenal is going to be in that conversation. I don't see Mbemo in the
No.
conversation. He's not that kind of striker. Mbemo is a 10 goals, 11 goals kind of thing, but you need double that for you to actually even be in the conversation. We might also
Mm-hmm.
see a very unexpected person trying to nick Haaland to the title. The way we saw he got Thiago last season, I don't think
Yeah.
he got Thiago is going to have that same run. It was abysmal at the World Cup for Brazil. I don't think if he played just one game and Carlo Ancelotti got fed up with him, I don't think he played any other game till they got eliminated. Interestingly, if I think if Carlo Ancelotti have actually substituted him in instead of Hendrick would even have missed
Miss
that
that chance.
that chance that Vinicius gave him, and he forgot how to control the ball. So he got Thiago would have actually dispatched that and scored
Yeah,
on the back of the
he
net.
puts
But
that away 100%.
yeah,
But
I would
the
have put that
question is,
away.
does
Would have
he
put that
make that
away.
run though?
Yeah. But maybe he
Different
won't make the
styles of
run.
play.
Yeah, we would have dispatched that. But yeah, I'm interested. I'm looking forward to one player just prop up and try to give others a run for their money and the high goal scoring log. But
Who
I'm
do you
still
think is going to be the surprise package of the season?
so the team that might be the surprise package that might try, and of course they will still fall like a pack of cards towards the end of the season. Man, this is tough. Like I said, I said Fulham, so I'm still gonna stick with Fulham. I think Fulham is gonna have a good run. I think they will have a good run and they will finish in the top half of the top 10, top 10, top 8. Fulham for me. Fulham,
Mine
yeah.
is mine is Spurs, but
Spurs,
considering
yeah. They've been
the
close to
the
relegation.
injury history that the sports players have, I think they will have a good season
Madison,
and then they will end up
Dejan Kulusevski. The
seven.
injury just took those guys out, and
Considering their injury history, Javi Simmons, they have fantastic
yeah,
players, but
Simon as
their
well.
injury history is not great, and then
Yeah,
you can always see them having one or two niggling injuries. Because of that, I see them finishing like around seventh, but they will be my surprise package. I think, and historically, Tottenham typically starts the season in great fashion. They usually have good starts. It's just that they fall down by the way. So you can
yeah,
expect
and
that
they
maybe
figure out.
Tottenham's first two, three matches they will win. They
Mm,
might get two wins and a draw.
mm-hmm,
Like last season, they defeated Manchester City at the beginning of the season. You know, those kind of results, they have them, and then you see them lose to maybe one Coventry, or
mm-hmm.
Ipswich beats them, or even they lose to Brentford, or
And now
you
they'll be in
just
trouble.
you see some crazy results against Tottenham, and then they will win like three matches again, and then they go. You know, they're sort of like a yo-yo club. You know, they're
Mm-hmm,
neither here nor there.
mm-hmm.
They're like a pendulum. But I think that's everything. Yeah. Now,
Yeah. So
obviously they count assists now.
before we end and round this up, so which of the top coaches do you think is not going to finish the season with their club? Of course, that is. Do you think he's going to get sacked? Any of the top coaches, Carrick, Xabi Alonso, Raola, Arteta? Or I don't see that one happening. Enzo Maresca, so Unai Emery, De Zerbi. Who do you think who won't finish? Or
Well,
maybe even
that's
Glasner at Nottingham Forest. So who do you think
the one that's
gets to go?
the most obvious right now is looking like Maresca.
Maresca,
And
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't want to go for
yeah.
the more obvious one, like the Hull City or Coventry City managers or the
Mm.
Ipswich managers, who I think will be teams
I,
that will
I
be in
think
trouble.
those ones will finish with their team, even if they get relegated. The one that I think might not finish. So for me,
Hmm.
I think Enzo Maresca definitely is by mid
Yeah.
season is already on fraud watch and he might get the post. I think this guy, yeah, the one who is tipping sports. Me, I think the ZB by December they're already looking finding a replacement for that one. I think the
Eh,
ZB also gets
I
the post.
think
I think
mm,
only Glasner at Nottingham Forest, if he's not careful, I think Oli Glasner gone is going to be on fraud watch by December, and who knows, he's gone, man. I
I
think
think
I think Oli
he
Glasner.
the
In my
reason why I
opinion.
don't back De Zerbi to be sacked is because
Mhm,
maybe because I watched some of his time in the French league, and I can see that he's more of a siege mentalist.
hmm,
So if you there's one thing he always does is he will tell you, I'm not here to entertain the fans. I'm here to get results.
mhm,
He's a very, very spicy character. And because of that, his players are usually drawn to him. They want to you see them actually literally fighting for him. His teams always have this togetherness. But the problem is that they are always inconsistent. If you check his time in Serie A and in what you call it now, in Ligue 1, His teams
Yeah,
have always
we
been plagued with yo-yo seasons, crest and troughs,
mm-hmm.
crest and troughs, like a circadian rhythm. You see them going up and then they fall down. They go up and then they fall down.
Mm.
That is
Can't
the
wait.
only thing why I think will plague him. But him getting the sack, no. I don't think he's even the first manager or the second one that gets the sack. The first one, I'm going to make a bold statement. I say the first manager that gets the sack this season is going to be none other than Frank
Is Enzo
Lampard.
Maresca? Oh, Frank Lampard, no, no, I don't think Frank Lampard. I don't think Frank Lampard. In my opinion, it's Enzo Maresca. I even see it. I wouldn't even be surprised if Raul is even on fraud watch by December. I
The
don't.
other one I
And
wanted to mention would be Alonso, not because he's not a good coach, but because of Chelsea's
yeah,
sheer
if
happiness.
expectation, yes, if expectation is not matching results, Alonso's leg might start getting
If
getting
what you
shaky.
ordered is not what you are
Yeah.
getting.
Yeah. And if Fulham, if it does not happen for them with the way I predicted, I think Abelu herself might be looking for a new job by January. But let's see. But
They
let's
might
see.
need to
But
dust
in
the
my opinion,
CV.
I think Maresca,
Yeah, I
he's
think
not going to be
we
there
all
by
agree.
next year.
I
He's
think
not going to
Maresca
be
will be
there.
gone by December, but
He's
Frank
not going to be there by
Lampard,
next year.
I
He's
think
not going to be there.
mid-November, before Halloween, or right after Halloween, before
Mhm.
Thanksgiving, he will be doing that Thanksgiving with his family.
And the reason why I'm actually looking at Ole Glasner is also because the owner of Nottingham Forest, Evangelos Marinakis, that
Marinakis
man
is a
does not have
trigger-happy human being.
he does not, yeah, he does not have chill. So if Ole Glasner he does not have chill, he pursued, who has he not pursued? This guy that came from Wolves and went to, what's his name again? He's not even the new coach of Portugal. What's his name? This Wolves guy went to Wolves, went to Saudi Arabia. He pursued him. He pursued,
Oh,
well,
with the white baby.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
but Postecoglou, he sent him packing. Yeah, I mean, he actually won something their second season, or they didn't allow him stay. He pursued him. So yeah, he does not have chill at all. So Emmanuel Marinaki is not going to take it easy with Glass now. But I wish him all the best, and I wish Nottingham Forest all the best as well. They have our man Ola not there, so
Yeah.
I don't want them to go down. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how things will pan out in the European football season. I look forward to the EPL opening tomorrow with Arsenal
Opening
facing
tomorrow.
Coventry City. And if
Quick
your
one,
prediction that
quick
Lampard is
one,
going to
quick
get his
one,
foot
quick one, quick one.
as the way
Predictions,
Coventry lose
predictions,
tomorrow.
predictions.
So
What
yeah,
are your predictions for the game tomorrow? Scores, clean sheets. What's your prediction
yeah,
for
I don't have
tomorrow?
the
So
games in front of me except I try to pull them up. So just
no,
give
just
me.
for Arsenal's game, or we can,
So
yeah,
for
we
Arsenal
can
and
call it
Coventry,
up
of
and do
course,
the entire
Arsenal
first game
wins.
week
Arsenal wins. And they are going to win to nil. I don't see Coventry scoring.
scoring.
Even if our man Awoni is there, and they have our man Franco Eka as well. I think they are not going. They will find it difficult to break Arsenal down. Arsenal's defensive solidity has been one of their biggest strengths, and I think that continues going into this new season as well. We know that
Hmm.
they've lost their biggest
Saliba.
defender, William Saliba. We're probably not going to see him until maybe closer to the end of the year or maybe even next year. But they've
Hmm.
made some recruitment as well. Konsa is there. They have Mosquera there to partner Gabriel at the back. So their defensive solidity is still quite intact. So I don't see Coventry beating them. So I'm going to predict a 3-0, 3-0, 3-0 to Arsenal. So
Three
Arsenal win
nil.
Coventry.
Do
Yeah.
you want to gamble and go out on a limb and give us the goal scorers?
No, that would be tough. That would be tough. But I would say Zolis is going to be on the score sheet. Yeah.
It's also
Grace
list,
is going to be
okay.
on the score sheet.
So
Saka
for
is
you
going
people
to be on
that
the score
you are
sheet.
playing FPL, please listen. Crystal Zolis,
Saka is going to be on the score sheet.
Bukayo Saka,
And
okay.
I think my boy Odegaard is going to be on the score sheet as well.
So please, FPL merchants, Crystal Zolis, Bukayo
Yeah,
Saka,
Zolis, Saka,
and
and Odegaard.
and
3-0
Martin
to Arsenal.
Odegaard. Even though Saka is so expensive, it's somebody that you
Yeah,
cannot
to
not
get
have.
in the FPL. Yeah, yeah. It will
So
be interesting. It will be
is
interesting.
there
And I
going to
think
be? I need to ask because I'm sure some people are already wondering. Is there going to be an FPL for the channel?
for the channel, yeah,
Yes.
if people are interested, so when this goes out, so if anyone interested can let me know in the comments, and if I see enough people showing interest, we can create one for the channel.
So
Yeah,
all right.
yeah,
So
yeah,
people, please
Yeah. It,
spam the comment section. Please let him
yeah,
set up
people are
the
interested in the
FPL
comment section.
so that there's
Then
going
it's
to
just
be a prize for the winner at the end of the
yeah,
season.
yeah.
Please let's
We
set that
can
up.
we can
Please,
make it
please, please.
attractive. We can make it
And
attractive.
definitely, you have a team in me. I'm already participating. I've signed up.
Yeah,
I'm in the comments already. I'm
yeah.
tagging. Let's have the FPL. I'm tagging you already.
So that's I think that's gonna be. It's been an amazing session with you, Rocco. This actually even took longer than I thought. I thought we were going to be done in like let's say 30 to
Nice.
45 minutes, but I think we've gone close to 2 hours now, and that's how
Yeah.
it usually is when you are discussing football and with someone as knowledgeable as you in football as well. You don't know when the time is just going by. I think this has been an amazing session, and this is definitely not going to be the last time we are going to be having this conversation. So most likely I'm going to have you back again next week to talk about the games that have happened. So yeah, thank you so much, Rocco, for taking out your time to be on here with us, for sharing your football knowledge with us. And yeah, so your last words before before we round
Thank you,
everything up.
everybody. It's your boy SJB signing out
Yeah,
on
yeah,
the podcast. I'll talk to you very soon. We're going to be
yeah,
back reviewing the scores at the end of the game week. So
yeah.
please stay tuned, like, share, and subscribe.
And please, yeah, so definitely, so you've heard from Rockwell, like, share, and subscribe when this comes out. So thank you so much, everyone. It's still made the football juggernaut signing out for today, Mayowa Adegeye. So see you on the next one. Thank you so much, and yeah, bye, Rockwell.